Greetings and hello everybody. We're here, it's a Wednesday, and we are so used to having our events on a Saturday. So Daisy, Rita and myself just got all our coordinations ready, and it's quite weird actually meeting on a Wednesday. But here we are, and we're going to be running our complimentary lecture series weekly now on a Wednesday. And you know, backed by popular demand, because last year we ran for 9 months sequentially every Saturday. So, you know, you all know what we were all doing, and most of you were sitting with us, which is fantastic. And we're going to be belting it out again this year, and really taking health, nutrition, genetics, immunity, detoxification, consciousness, if you like, to the very next level. So come on board, be with us. I've got Rita waiting there in the wings with us as well. She's here. Daisy will join us a little bit later. And what I really want to say is that this is our show, all right? Daisy and Rita and myself are putting it out there for all of us. And it's our place to learn, to discuss things, to question, to take also ourselves to the next level. And what we're wanting to do really is groom the existing people and bring new people into a space which is quantum medicine, which has really, really found its rightful place right now. And thanks to Daisy and her invention and her software platform, which is the biggest medical software platform on the globe right now, we really are able to be part of this great thing. So it's just real celebrations to everything she's done and brought to us. Right now we're live on Facebook too. So anybody who loses connection or anything wants to come in on Facebook, we're there as well. And today we're going to be talking about naturally activating the DNA. We're going to look at some things like Schurmann resonance and so on. And I've been posting things as well. And Daisy's given us also two absolutely beautiful Schurmann resonance electroceuticals. The one I put on and went to sleep last night. And I have to tell you, today was a different day. It was different. I was more together than ever before. And then she sent another one, which has got some fish. And I posted a little bit on our group. So you saw some highlights of that. I'm going to be posting that for us. So beautiful, where we start looking at, you know, the heart, the brain, the emotions, the DNA, our consciousness, really, if you like. So when we're looking at... well, Rita, do you want to say hi?
Yes, what I would like to say that we are going to produce more and more videos and electroceuticals about how much like exercise, sleep, emotions, love, human contact are also as well known as nutrients as any vitamin, mineral, fiber we take. And we are going to show you how to find ways to find these opportunities from home, in the nature, for all those people who have no access to any gym, who have problems with their health, who have problems with stress, anxiety. And we are going to also educate and train you how to affect your own hormones and the bowel flora and the brain and gut connection with all these kinds of action taking and movement and exercise, which are as valuable nutrients as healthy diet and supplements.
Thank you, Rita. So that's exactly when Daisy comes in, her and Rita are going to expand upon that, because really looking at nutrients from a sound perspective, from a light perspective, and from a closeness, interaction with people perspective, because, you know, nutrition is far more than just a gross form of putting a plate of food in front of you and selecting appropriately, but it is a a lot more sophisticated than that, and a lot more lively, shall I say, even sound. So let's
our whole teaching and the messages are revolving around body, mind, and spirit connection, and
yeah.
this is also all connected with the enlightenment process, how the human body is designed to chop wood and carry water and then go back to the marketplace.
Perfect. So when we're talking about DNA activation, and I'm just going to go to the slides and start them in a moment. And when we're talking about Schurmann resonance are Earth frequencies, okay? And you also get things called ELF, EELF. I'm going to show you some live information. Rita, I actually went in now, just before we started. I put humanity again onto the device, and I pulled out some radiation figures which we can share, and just a little bit more about the DNA too. And I've got a wonderful, wonderful RNA DNA course. I think there's one or two of you or more in the group who've already done that course of mine. So I do recommend that if you're wanting to look at the basics on RNA and DNA. But we're going to talk about that specifically. Talk about the effect of solar flares, talk about the effect of mRNA fragments, the positive ones that are shifting us, that shifting our consciousness and have evolved us up until now. So just to say that there are a lot of natural waves, okay? And they're all working together with us, with the Earth, and in particular, the Schurmann resonance works in the ionosphere. And many of them are quite complex, very complex. And every time the lightning strikes the Earth is charged. And this happens 7 to 10 times a second. There's a major lightning strike on the planet somewhere, constantly keeping our Earth charged. Okay, so next time when you hear the lightning and everything, if you do in your country or your city where you are, know what's happening. The Earth's being charged, and we're getting electrons that can feed us so long as we put our feet on it. And what most of us are doing is we've actually cut ourselves off from nature, cut ourselves off from the Schurmann resonance. All right, from the electrons that are there and freely available to us. So if you go into a concrete building, you go into a cave, you're not going to experience these natural waves, and you're not going to be in touch, you're not going to be connected, and you will have health problems. So we've got to always remember that we can't, live in isolation. We have to live in connection, stay connected, and these wavelengths also do, to a slight extent, affect our brain waves, anxiety, our neurological space, and our physical heart, probably brain, to an extent. So sometimes you might have days when you're feeling a little bit different. And actually, we do track the Schurmann resonance. I did post a picture of that. And there's an app I can give you too, where they track daily, and you can see when there's specific dips in the Schurmann resonance, and just fractionally, but it's enough to put some of us out of balance. But just to say, this is just one of them. When Daisy was telling me when the Big Bang occurred, it's a cosmic microwave radiation, and it's actually a God consciousness. And this is even bigger than what we're speaking about in terms of general natural waves. This is really what we need to be in touch with, and that's why we need to be connected, because this God consciousness, and it's part of our DNA, is what is going to evolve us. There are even solar flares that are shown to adjust and shift our DNA as well. So I think all in all, you know what, don't lock yourself up. Get out there, get in the sun. Daisy's going to talk, and Rita will talk about nutrition. We need photons, we need oxygen, we need water, we need earth energy, we need nature energy, we need nature spirit energy. And all of these things are working together, with the cosmic microwave radiation, which is the God consciousness. And we're going to hear from the professor about that shortly. Any questions you have, I want you to please jot them down so that we can get through them and we can make this as interactive as possible. I'm going to start some of the slides here so that we can get going. So we're talking about the Schurmann resonance. We're talking about extra low frequencies. I'm going to show you how we measure it on our device. It is too awesome for those of you who don't have devices. The solar flares, the beneficial mRNAs, and the fragments. And Rita, if you want to say anything in between, please just do. These are IMUNE lectures. We're coming from the IMUNE University, registered in the British Isles, and we are gearing people up to do the diploma to become licensed immune therapists, biofeedback therapists, and also subspace therapists. Okay, so this is all going towards the diploma and more, by the way. All right, so you can actually register for that. You can actually go to my website, 365healthybychoice.com, and register to become an immune student and get a mentor. All right, and that's all on my website. So very exciting stuff. We've got a whole new look. So when we're talking about DNA activation, when we're talking about God consciousness, when we're talking about the morphogenic field, when we're talking about universal field, we're talking about a golden mean spiral, and we're talking about perfecting that golden mean spiral and the spin of the spiral and the spin of the electrons around the proton and the neutron. And this spin is the life force. All right, the closer the electron spin to the neutron and the proton, the greater the life force. The quantum device does exactly this. All right, the QUEX, the latest version of our quantum devices, that's what it's doing. It's using a scalar wave, which is a golden mean wave, which is realigning us in real time. So if we see radiation, if we go to the DNA panel, we are realigning in real time. And a scalar wave is a fixed wave. It's not like a linear wave that will eventually peter out. So we have a device that measures, validates, verifies, and it's a fixed waveform. A scalar wave is fixed, and it will carry on even after you finish the session with somebody. The frequencies continue, and we can share lots of case studies on that with you. That's for sure. So just coming back to the presentation.
I'm right here.
Okay. Almost gold is an energy capacitor, which comes also from the morphogenic field, there to repair and also advance the DNA. It allows the DNA strand to unwind and rewind again in real time. So almost gold, I think many of you sat in many of our lectures and presentations. Almost gold elixir will do that for you. We've got food state nutraceuticals in the quantum spin that will adjust our DNA. We have foods like chlorella and bee pollen, which actually make and manufacture and carry the mRNA strands for us so that they can activate the DNA within us. And Desi will be talking and Rita about sound. The space, if you're in a dome-shaped space with the dome around you, there is a scalar wave that interacts with the pineal, and that will restore health and realignment in the human body. So there are many things. Plaiting of hair is a DNA activity. If you see cross-stitch crosses on material and jewelry, and doing creative things with your left and your right hand is going to activate your DNA. So more on that on courses that I have, and that RNA DNA course, etc., and other courses on the immune. And this I've put in, many of you have seen this as well, because if we're talking about God consciousness and the unfoldment of our DNA and our purpose, it is in the golden mean spiral form. So going from individual to a we situation to collective transformation. The whole time we're working with proper nutrition on all levels and dimensions. We're talking about even our mental processes, emotional, neurological, spiritual, and physical. So that collectively, in its pure state, allows the unfoldment of the DNA, the higher consciousness, and the achievement of our purpose. So that's highly important to bear that in mind. And this is also the vortex. This is the scalar wave vortex for the new people who've joined us. And it's so amazing to see all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm seeing there's cool people joining and watching on live on Facebook too. So we're advancing. Anyhow, this is the vortex. Okay, so if you, sorry, let me just go back here. If you consider, imagine I'm here or Rita's here and we have like an apple core. We have a core in the middle and we have a round circular scalar wave around us. We have a wave coming in from the bottom and another one coming down from the top. A golden means spinning down and a golden means spinning up. That is the scalar wave. That is the vortex. When we talk about alignment with our quantum devices, we are talking about alignment of the vortex, be it our whole being, be it the liver, be it the blood, be it the little cell of our body, be it even the DNA. The DNA has its own quantum spin, its own scalar spin as well. So this is, I'm just trying to give you a physical hook to hang on when we talk about alignment. When we talk about quantum spin, all right, it's about that scalar vortex. So yay, we're all on track and we know where we're going. Simple. Who said quantum was difficult? So here we're talking about restoring our human genome with our beautiful devices, leading edge, state of the art, groundbreaking, nothing close. Believe you me, I've traveled the world. I've been to Russia twice. Our inventor has really given us the top. Just some causes of damage, and we all know about genetic diseases and so on. You can see from this here, lots of damage from chemical exposure, ionizing radiation, things like ultraviolet light exposure, and 5G and stress and anything like that is going to cause damage to the DNA helix. So we need to look at avoiding this and also repair. And I've got some things to show you regarding that as well. So we don't want the wrong genetic coding. We don't want the wrong GMO mRNA fragments coming in and decoding us. We definitely don't. We don't want the diseases that come from that. Remember, emotions, it's also got to do with our DNA. It's also got to do with the spin, the quantum spin, left and right, positive and negative. And you can get more of that on the diploma for the IMUNE students. All right, it's full, it's jam-packed. In fact, this course is life-transforming. There's no two ways about it. You will not be the same after you've done this course because it's really, really leading edge and it's really on point. Food additives, any kind of toxins like that will damage our DNA helix. And even more importantly, if we don't have enough of the nucleoproteins, so the uracil, adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine, we have a product, replica RNA DNA, which contains all five. One of the reasons we're low in it today is because we're having to use more than usual. And secondly, we don't consume heart and liver and brain and things like perhaps our ancestors did. So you will get it in a fermented kind of a vegetable, a dark vegetable paste like a marmite or a bovril. You'll get some of these nucleoproteins in beans, but you will definitely get them in the medicinal mushrooms that come out of the tree trunks, the bee pollen products, the algae. As I've said before, you will get these nucleoproteins in there. So we need to consume high vibrational nutrients. And more on that in a little bit later with Desi. I want to show you a little bit how the translation and transcription occurs so that you can get it in also intellectually what's happening. There's the mRNA strain, and it's perfectly coded with the nucleoproteins from the human body. This is formed outside the nucleus. It comes in as the DNA splits over there, all right, into two, because now remember the cell is dividing. So the DNA has to divide. And as it divides, the new mRNA strands come in and they will then come in and join along the top here with these ones, and another one will come in and join there. And that then forms the two new cells. Now, if there's a problem in the mRNA strand or the existing DNA strand, we're going to get a situation where there's either a SNP that hasn't joined properly because there's no corresponding T, or the C and the G. Those are the nuclear proteins. There's a missing link, so we will get a SNP, or we will get the wrongly attached proteins, and that's going to lead to disease and all sorts of things, decodement of the human body. Okay, so very important what I'm speaking about now, because when we talk about nourishment, we are building this DNA 24/7. Okay, we need to do it quantum and scalar, and that's going to take us to this higher God consciousness, if you like. All right, we need to view food as an instrument, food in the broadest sense, to raise our vibration, to take us into the high space, and to raise our health to maximum health. Let's face it, we're not really here for a holiday. So I hope you've enjoyed this part, because this is very important. We can also understand what's going on out there regarding the lockdown and so on. And here's just another example, just to show you. You see the pre-mRNA comes in. Okay, and we get the transcription and the translation. More on that on that RNA course. Now we want to look at some healing with the RNA, healing the DNA and the RNA with the device and with some nutrients and our lifestyle. So I'm going to share with you, first of all, our devices, our beautiful, beautiful state-of-the-art devices, okay? And we've got state-of-the-art also software. And what these devices can do is identify the possible chromosomes and genes which are not aligned or damaged. This is not going around the corner to some boutique little company that's going to tell you that you're a fast or a slow metabolizer, that you must never ever eat, I don't know, green beans again in your life, or carrots, because you don't have the genetic makeup or the metabolism for that. Absolute bunk. We do all 23 sets of chromosomes. We do all the genetic foci, the genes, etc., and we can realign it in a heartbeat. That's what our devices do. All right, and remember, the subconscious is in control. The subconscious is in the driving seat all the time. I can't sit there and make you into an avatar. All right, so it's calibrated with you and it's working with you. So if you want DNA activation, it's going to be what your subconscious is allowing today and what you've asked for. Yeah, we're getting lots of people joining us. Wow, hi on Facebook. All right, so we can identify, validate, and verify the malaligned, if you like, genetic DNA structure. We can identify the possible diseases and the chromosome attached with those diseases, the possible toxins involved. We can then realign the genetic material. We can supply the missing building blocks. I'm going to show you right now where uracil, adenine, and guanine and that sit on our panels. And we can then get confirmation by tracking. This is just too beautiful, everybody. Welcome to quantum medicine, and welcome to, well, the real world. That's all I can say, because there's no human brain that can do this. Here is today, the 24th of the 2nd, 2021. We put humanity onto the grid, and the figures in white, we were doing this twice a week. Up until about October, November last year, we had a group of us. Many of you are in the audience today, and thank you for all your contributions. We can resume. So those are the figures from then, which was about end of October, early November. But here in the yellow are the real time today figures. Oxygen level 89. This is humanity. Hydration levels, resistance to electron flow. Really good. That is the brain amplitude, 73. That's good. And here is our voltage, our charge. So those parameters are looking pretty okay for humanity. Here is our cell vitality 7. And I'm sure Daisy will talk about cell vitality. If we don't, we'll talk about it in time to come. There's our pH, 6.7. So we are in an acidic state. Our body resonance is below. So when I say our, I'm meaning humanity needs to be at least above 1,000. So we do need to bring in electrons. We do need to bring in proper usage of oxygen to raise that resonance level. That's enough for us to understand, Jay. to say that it's better than October, November last year, which is great. Now, this is a little bit tiny, but you can expand your screens as well. I actually selected radiation on our matrix panel. And I just want to show you, especially the medical people, the health practitioners that are in the group, because can you see all the different types of natural radiations and toxic detrimental radiations that there are? You see, so these top ones are talking about radiation exposure, cesium. It's talking about our bone marrow. We need to bring the chi back. We need to get the bone marrow able to operate properly, because in humanity, can you see what the chemotherapy has done? It's suppressed the ability of the bone marrow to function properly. Those of you who are medical know what the bone marrow is doing. It's producing the white blood cells, red blood cells, platelets, beta cells, T cells, NKF cells. It's producing the stem cells. So it's our entire immunity package. And if it's being suppressed, that is a real serious problem. And you can see the value there is 46. So the values under 50 are important. And there's the radiation, microwave radiation, all right? But it's the wrong spin microwave. When I talked earlier about cosmic microwave radiation, that is in the right spin. The correct left-right spin, the correct positive-negative spin, okay? Something like a microwave we're talking about is cell phone radiation. It's a microwave to cook our food. All right, and there's a remedy there. We all know kelp and blue-green algae and that are very good. The X-ray. So we're also carrying a large amount of toxic X-ray radiation. And you can see some of the diseases that are being formed. And just for interest anyway, you can see cell phones. I mean, we're not in the range right now, but just for interest, you can read the different kinds of radiation, alpha, betas, but that leukemia is, it's, you know, those kind of things are not good. Okay, so what I wanted to do was show you that, and there's lots more on that. And those of you who are really interested in balancing your radiation, balancing your DNA, your RNA, your chromosomes, speak to Rita, Daisy, or myself. We can do it in a heartbeat, and more as well. We can even work interdimensionally. So it's just God-given, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Here we've got the risk factors, and I'm going to enlarge this as well, just to show you where radiation is fitting. So these are our acute risk factors. Everything needs to be 100, everybody. So right, sugar regulation, diabetes, that is a genetic disorder. Get the liver right. The livers are normally blocked and dirty, including the gallbladder, environmental toxins. We saw some already. So I'm just reading what the Facebook people are saying. All right, now have a look down here. I hope you're all enjoying this, because this, you can hear, this is my passion. I love it. So at the bottom here are our humanity's chronic problems, okay? And you can see we got a chronic fungus, 59 out of 100. Our lymphatics are blocked, 65 out of 100. And there we have radiation, all right? 66. Very extremely high radiation, damaging that bone marrow of ours and everything else, every single chromosome, every single nuclear division. Okay, we can sort this out in a heartbeat. Okay, here's the radiation panel that you get on the device, which gets presented to us as quantum therapists. And these figures are also out of 100. So the further away from 100, above or below, the greater the risk factor gap. So what we're seeing here is, you know, here they all are. They're all sitting here. These ones below 80, computer terminal, of course. And here's some more computer and grounding extra low frequencies. We've got mobile telephone, alpha, beta rays, gamma rays, X-rays. Now all of these megahertzes, they are all damaging 24/7. They are breaking off pieces of our DNA. All right. So we are getting wrongly translated, wrongly transcribed coding. apart from the toxins that are out there that are directly coming in nanoparticle formation, slipping into our cells, slipping into the nucleus and coming in with that wrongly coded mRNA strand. And then, as I said, you can see at the top, so there's cosmos, there's neutrinos, and these are all power tools and things like that. So can you see how we can then, we start balancing this, and we start restoring harmony and homeostasis in the body. Here's another slide where you can see the damage on the chromosomes. And the oncogenes, it forms cancer genes. So there's the oncogenes. You see, there's one there. Oncogene related to emotions. So don't think that emotions don't damage the chromosomes. They most definitely do. Okay, there's a lot of information. You don't need to digest it all. I want to just show the extent of what we have, at our disposal. So, and here's again, this is DNA, and you can see, okay, the value is not below 50, but never mind. Just have a look and see the kind of things and diseases and enzymes that we can find. That there's cytosine, there's a nuclear protein, there's another one, RNA, DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, right? So we can start picking up, and we can guanine, adenosine. We can start rebalancing the human body in a heartbeat. And here I wanted to show you specifically, this is the protein amino acid balance. Here they all sit, adenosine, uracil, adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. Can you see we've got values there, those that are above 100 and below 100. This is humanity right now. I picked it up. All right, so we are actually devoid and really requiring we're really requiring the nuclear proteins. So it's about warding it off. I'm going to talk about earthing mats and wristing mats just now. I'm going to talk about earthing pendants, EMF pendants, which I've actually measured on our device. In 1 week, that blue panel rectifies. And the earthing mat you measure with a voltmeter. And show you how we can form a field around us, and how we can constantly reset ourselves, and how what I'm showing you now is how the device works, and then also food. So let's get back here. I'm just moving through this because I'm not sure what time Daisy's going to come through. But also just to say, I've really geared the 365 Healthy by Choice natural food state nutrient range around boosting the DNA, because at the end of the day, that is our seat of consciousness. And if we're not aligned with that, then I don't know, then we're eating well for the sake of eating well. We need to be knowing that's our purpose and all that. And so we've got the various products I spoke to you about. This one here has got the 5 nuclear proteins in it for our DNA strand and the mRNA. The Stress Defense Shield has got chlorella, it's got the bee pollens, it's got the medicinal mushrooms, it's got the other algae and royal jelly and propolis in it to activate proper mRNA in the body. Zeolite paramagnetic rock, that's just beautiful because it's connection with the cosmos. Okay, so it's a natural paramagnetic rock. If you go to ancient sites and you go with your computer, with your cell phone, and you walk close to these paramagnetic rocks, you will find that at some stage the compass just starts spinning. It loses Earth magnetism, and you become connected cosmically. That is what a zeolite does, and it wards off radiation. Okay, so very important, and I have research on that as well. So I brought the zeolite in. The microbiome reset is important because if we're 90% microbial, and in fact, the energy is produced inside a bacteria in the mitochondria is an eukaryote. We need to have correct imprinting of DNA, correct imprinting on our RNA and our DNA. And we have 80 to 120 live strains and enzymes doing that for us and building our immunity. So you can go and take a look there. And then I want to talk about this course. This is the course that I'm talking about, and there's a special on in February where if you buy one of the courses, you get a free one. And we've talked about the immune courses as well. This is just an outline of the course. So really looking at the genetic blueprint, and very importantly, having a look at all of this, because I actually printed off from the quantum information center on our devices, must be about 250 pages that Desi's written on RNA, DNA, the human genome. So that information is already in our software. The new software is going to be totally interactive. We're already real time, but now we're going to be working with a dashboard, if you like, that's completely interactive, and you can be pulling nutrients in, you can be detoxifying, you can really, really make a massive shift in people. It's really going to be highly interactive and dynamic. So we all set for that, and it's going to be really state of the art. If you think what we have already is amazing, it's going to be even more amazing. So I don't know if you've got any questions on what I've presented so far. We have the courses, we have the material for you. Those people who want to take this and raise their consciousness, live their purpose, steer themselves in the right direction this year and for years to come, and get clarity of thought, think clearly, live productively, maximize their health. We have what you need. Just until Desi comes as well, I'm going to talk about these radiation pendants. I'm just going to make this a bit larger so you can see. Now, these are on the website. I've got a mold that actually comes from the Urals in Russia, very, very old ancient mold, and you can see the double DNA helix on there. All right. These are about, I think they're about $100, yeah, or less. No, they're about $82, I think, on the website. I'm just saying I think because I'm working from rands. Made of a natural resin. And inside it we have crystals, and they are holding the DNA frequencies, the earth frequencies, brain harmonizing frequencies. And as we get bombarded, they're resetting us. It's also restructuring the water. We are 80%, you would take water, and it's restructuring our water automatically. You could even take it near your teacup or your water or your wine, and you can restructure that water. Restructured water is the most important thing. So these are readily available, shipped anywhere in the world, just to tell you. Okay, and then this earthing mat, I just want to slip it out from underneath the Facebook group because my stand is on the mat. These are earthing mats that, honestly, I've made these for the last probably 8 years. All right, it's an anti-static mat, and there's a clip on there, and you connect it to the wall, your building, or you have a probe into the ground, and you can hold a voltmeter, and the needle will swing. And the minute you take your one little finger and you touch the mat anywhere, the voltmeter will go to 0. That is Schurmann's resonance. So it is as you're sitting inside your concrete building, your cave, you're out of connection, disconnected, basically. You're touching one of these things while you're working on your computer. You already have an invisible shield around you, throwing off any electromagnetic frequencies coming at you. And then if you've got one of these pendants, then what you're doing is also reorganizing, resetting the DNA and the structure of the water, also 24/7. So I've tested all of this. I've done research using our validated and verified devices, and in 1 week you'll see a difference. Some people will show a reading of 350. I think the highest one we saw was 264 something. When you're getting to that level, 290, when you're getting to over 300, we are talking about radiation toxicity, and that is off the chart. No one is measuring that. All right, and these people are highly sensitive. Their DNA is really denatured. There's lots of destruction going on, and the body's in a downward spiral. It's in the wrong spin. So we need to come and help these people quickly. If you know people like that, get hold of Rita, myself, Desi, any of the quantum practitioners. So Lorella is saying, does it harmonize your field? It absolutely harmonizes your field. Absolutely harmonizes your field. And just imagine now, when I'm going to post just now, these Schurmann resonance electroceuticals. Wow, wow, wow. That's all I can tell you. Because I sleep on one of these and I drive with one in my car. There's a crocodile clip and you clip it to your metal underneath the car seat, because your car is earthed with a battery. And I use an earthing, a wrist mat. I'm going to show you now. I'm just opening it. And this wrist mat, it's a 2-in-1 thing. Now think about this. You're in your car and you're traveling with people, some people carrying 2 cell phones at any one time. There's the mat, the same as this, exactly the same. And you actually put it onto your wrist. And the end piece has got a little crocodile clip. That gets clipped underneath your car seat onto a piece of metal. So while you're driving, you can harmonize yourself. You have an EMF field. And the book, by the way, is called Earthing by Clint Ober. You can go and read that. You can also go and see what half an hour of standing on the ground does. Inflammation and pain. There are actual infrared photographs that show you. They will show you what happens in a diabetic foot, where there's no energy, there's no infrared light at all. Within 30 minutes of having stood on the ground, the whole foot is filled with yellow, orange, and red infrared light and energy, life force. It is fascinating. There's also a graph showing from, I think, about 1990s, when we started moving to plastic-soled shoes instead of leather-soled shoes. So leather sole, you'll still be in contact with the ground, right? You'll still get electrons because your feet sweat a little bit and that moisture, and it still comes through. When we started wearing plastic-soled shoes, 1990s, there is an upward graph indicating the incidence of diabetes, which is an inflammatory disease. Never mind the other inflammatory diseases. So can you see what happened? The disconnect is the big problem. When we get out of our caves, out of our concrete buildings and go into nature, that is where we need to be. So we need to dip in and out of that on a daily basis. That's what I do. I walk 40 minutes every day barefoot on the ground, summer or winter. And, it definitely, you can feel that it removes inflammation, stiffness, that type of thing. And it also is very, very, very calming and balancing and harmonizing. So the earth will trump EMF. Tested it for 5G. Okay, so Lorella, great question. We need to put the 5G onto our devices, and Daisy's busy with that. Thanks for your question. But we have the cross section of frequencies on there. The frequencies are all there. It's just not actually named. All right. So if it's going to bring a couple down, it's going to bring them all down. Thank you for that question. Any others? Let's have a look there. So that's what I put together, and it's a passionate area of mine. Rita, what about you? What are your thoughts on DNA and harmonizing? The harmonizing effects we can bring in. Rita, maybe she's just dipped out for a moment. Okay, I'm sure she's going to be back. So let me ask all of you as well to jot down in the chat what you do to harmonize yourself, to ward off toxins on any level, because any toxin is going to damage our DNA. And that's going to damage every single cell division. So that cell phone, you can also get, I've got radiation devices behind on my cell phone as well. And I can put the contact in our chat a little bit later. I don't have it in my memory, but also it'll also ward off radiation. But if you've got a pendant on you 24/7 and an earthing mat, you will be harmonizing yourself 24/7. That's the best we've got right now. There is more to come, that I can promise you. I know Desi and Rita have got an orgone device that also emits a proper orgone field. And the QUEX, Dr. Skio, when we're working on them, we're also working in an orgone field, which is also harmonizing the DNA all the time. So you can do that. I think what I'm going to do now, if it's okay with you. So there we go. Thank you. Using the organized items. That's perfect. So those organized items, do me a favor. I want you to do the before and afters. All right. Do a reading on yourself or somebody with that blue panel. If you have a device, if you haven't, then speak to me. And then after a week or two, we need to check and see if there's improvement. Because you know what you measure is real. We can't be subjective about things anymore. We need to be able to validate and verify what we're talking about. All right, and that's a fact. We are electromagnetic beings, and we need to work with our own parameters, which I showed you, and anything that we're going to work with and talk about. All right? So thanks for that. Let's then go and watch the first video from Desi.
I'm here now.
Oh, hello, Desi.
This is Professor of Medicine, Desiree Dubonnet. Desiree Dubonnet, America to find freedom.
Hold on. Now I've started the video. Desi, welcome.
Play the video, then I'll come on just a couple minutes.
Okay, perfect. All right, everyone. We're moving into the nourishment. All right, the nourishment of the cell, the nucleus, the contents of the nucleus, and we're bringing all of this into, we're basically going beyond what we already know, because we have Professor Desiree Dubonnet here, and it's an honor to have her.
This is Professor of Medicine, Desiree Dubonnet, the man who left America to find freedom, who, well, no longer a man. We think of ourselves as body, mind, spirit, but we're also social and environmental. And we have these different processes of the body that all operate simultaneously and entwine as one. And today we're going to talk about spiritual, and that spirituality and the spiritual connection is an essential nutrient for life.
God. Oh, God. Dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way.
From time to time, everybody has that connection. They said that there's no such thing as atheists in a foxhole. You see, spirituality is an essential nutrient, and everybody will find it at certain times. And it is a nutrient that helps to fortify our soul, because we start to find out that literally we are the center of the universe, scientifically, and our spirit needs to be fed.
Where is the center of the universe? Well, this might sound crazy, but it's everywhere. This is known as the Cosmological Principle. Take a look at these two layers. They are exactly similar, except the top layer represents a 5% expansion of the bottom layer. Let's say that you live on one of these dots, and you want to measure where everything's moving away from. Well, watch what happens when I line up a dot in the past and the present. Boom. It looks like the center of the expansion. I can do this with any dot. As soon as I choose a dot to be the frame of reference, it immediately becomes the center of the expansion. So while dying in a black hole would be lonely and scary and morbid, when you look up into the sky, think instead about this. No matter where you are or who you are or what your friends or your parents tell you, you really scientifically are the center of the universe.
You see, you don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body. And the body expired now then, and the soul continues. It finds another body to inhabit.
Dear God, thank you for your blessings. And bless our family. Amen.
I believe that our health is established about the greatest balance of body, mind, and spirit connection. Our spirit is highly determining how we feel, who we are, what we think we become.
And we need to recognize that spirituality does not mean religious. For some it is, but not for everybody. But everybody has some sense of a power greater than them. As spirituality. As spiritual people inspire me. Religious people frighten me. Everybody is on some type of spiritual path. There's many different types of spiritual paths
But
people find.
everybody sees the spirituality from their own perception.
And we all have that need.
We thank you for bringing us a new friend. And we ask that you look after us on this holiday season, that we may never forget how very fortunate we are. Amen.
Please, Lord. I just want to see my daughters again. I've been separated from my family for so long. I know I've been guilty of pride and sharp dealing.
I know I'm a sinner and once in a while womanizer, but I'm your servant. Since I was a little boy, you brought me back from the dead. I'm your servant. What should I do? Tell me. I've always called you Jesus. You always call me Sonny. What should I do, Jesus?
Now me, I was scared. But Lieutenant Dan, he was mad.
Come on! You call this a storm? Oh, you son of a... Oh! It's time for a showdown! You and me! I'm right here!
Spirituality does not come from religion. Religion is designed to help some people find and keep spirituality. But for most people, a type of spirituality, a type of reverence, and then a transcendence beyond the norm, of the body, mind, and spirit. Transcendence that allows us to go beyond and to feel more.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom,
the power, and the glory, forever and ever.
Amen.
Spirituality means being in the present moment, having your mental focus, high mental awareness, accepting the things that you cannot change, and working on the things you can.
And as we reduce the verbal mind, we find out that there are certain powers. And breatharians live in a spiritual world. We've talked about this in our topics about breatharians. But sometimes spirituality has a funny bent.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Spiritual awareness cannot be accomplished from outside. It is not on the Christmas tree, not in the church, not in the store. It can only be developed from our inside, from our soul, from our heart.
Cultivated by non-judgmental awareness.
Observing from inside. Spirituality is an essential nutrient. Without spirituality, life would be empty. And our body, mind, and soul need spiritual nutrients and vitamins to feel.
Without the spirituality, our life is empty, meaningless. So we need this nutrient. Everybody finds it in a different way and expresses it in a different way. But it is an essential nutrient for life. This is Desi.
And Rita.
Saying goodbye.
Bye.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
That wasn't the first one I wanted you to play, but that's okay.
That was amazing. That was just beautiful. Thank you.
But that's a good one. I made a bunch of them. I want to introduce, though, the one I just sent you on Skype just now.
All right, just a moment. Let me go and get it.
First one I sent you today. And basically, we're going to really study in depth the concept of nutrition. What is a nutrient? Because like I just showed you, spirituality is a nutrient, just as important as vitamin D or vitamin A or protein. Spirituality is a nutrient. Human beings need it. But I want to introduce the concept, and if you would play the first video. Okay, that's it.
The dictionary definition of a nutrient is a substance that provides nourishment essential for the maintenance of life, metabolism, reproduction, and growth. A nutritional deficiency is when the missing nutrient causes disease, when we block health and we have decreased wellness. Now we think most about nutrients, that is from food, things like negentropy, fiber, carbohydrates, fats, protein, minerals, vitamins, enzymes, these nutrients that are found in food. But now we have to expand our mind to more and realize that air, water, family, social networks, intellect, stimulation, love, respect, spiritual growth, these are essential nutrients, as is sunshine. So we have to recognize exercise. All of these things are nutrients that we need. If you are deficient in just one nutrient, you will be sick and tired. And you'll be in crave mode, unconsciously, always searching for that nutrient. Never at peace, never at health until you find that nutrient. Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? See, many people have this fatigue, this low-grade mental fog. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now we can change it because of just one little nutrient. You might be sick and tired. And in order to change, we must be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And recognize, as we're going to teach you about all these nutrients, how to get them very simple and very easily. So that with these nutrients topped up, you'll find wellness, health, and peak performance, and have a better life, and find happiness.
Hello?
Hi, Desi. We're back with you.
Okay, I'm going to give people the course in nutritional deficiencies, where I've made 22 videos now, because we want to study the ideas of nutritional deficiencies very completely, okay? So just hang on a second. And I'm going to, that's not it. Okay, hang on. I'm going to send you this. There we go. Now, the second one I sent you, the nutritional deficiencies in YouTube, this is a playlist, Jane.
Yes.
And it has the videos and the basic concept. You can pass that on to everybody.
I'm going to do that.
And we can take a look at this in more in depth next week. Because as we are dealing with each and every one of our patients, we need to recognize that everybody is deficient in some nutrient. The number one nutrient we have, physical nutrient, the number one, is air. We need air. We don't really need oxygen. I mean, yes, we need oxygen But if we get pure oxygen, it'll actually hurt us. So what we need is air that has only about 20% oxygen. If it's too much oxygen, it'll get a problem if there's too little oxygen. The other nutrient that we need is carbon dioxide. This is a nutrient because it's carbon dioxide that triggers us to breathe. Water, a very, very key nutrient. Then we have protein, fatty acids. We have sunshine as a nutrient. Sleep is a nutrient. Social contact is a nutrient. And I want to be able to teach all of our students how they can very quickly and easily evaluate people's nutrition and to help them to really, really change their life. Because if just one nutrient is missing in your body, your brain will switch to crave mode and you will be hungry. You want something. So you'll eat the ice cream. Now, nutrients not there. Okay, I'm still hungry. Okay. How about the potato chips? I'll eat the potato chips. No, nutrients still missing. Because you're in crave mode. You're continuing to crave. And how do we solve all these nutrient problems? How do we teach people how to breathe properly? How to drink water properly? How to exercise properly? How to have social contact, spiritual contact? And I think these videos are pretty incredible to really touch on all the dimensions and how to get across to people.
And how to affect the DNA, emotion, precognition, and the balance between the body, spirit, and mind.
So you were talking about energy. I was in the other room. I had to do a webinar with Bill Cunningham. Do you have any questions for me about some other stuff there?
About the radiation and the electromagnetic frequencies, you mean?
Any questions you got for me or anything?
I think we covered most of them. However, Desi, we're speaking about nourishment, and we're talking about a nourishment on a very, very high level right now. And you also talked about the different kinds of spiritual paths people are on. Now, regardless of that, these natural waves, the cosmic microwave radiation is there whether we like it or not.
Well,
maybe just expand a bit on that. Yeah.
The Schurmann field. These things are there. They're just part of our biology. We need them. In fact, I think we could say that the Schurmann field is a nutrient. I just hit on you. Just gave me another idea for another video I need to make. There are certain of these frequencies that are nutrients, and the cosmic microwave background radiation, which is oscillating throughout the entire universe, that's a nutrient because every human being who's ever been born has been immersed in it. It's part of our biology. So and
even generations before, not only this one, it's what's developed us to where we are right now.
Exactly. On the idea of the cosmic microwave background radiation, this is supposed to be a leftover from the Big Bang. In the very, very beginning, when supposedly there's a Big Bang and everything happened, and this generated all kinds of energy that oscillated out. And what's left, one of the things that's left is this cosmic microwave radiation oscillating back and forth from the ideas of quantum physics. Particles that were at once connected share a communication, okay? We know this quantum entanglement, quantum entanglement. When the photon of cosmic microwave radiation hits you, which is happening to everybody right now, unless you're deep in a cave or inside a concrete bunker or a concrete and steel building deep inside it. When this radiation hits you, because of quantum entanglement, you are in contact to all of the other photons of the universe. Wow. And the information's being exchanged with all of the other photons of the universe. And if the only thing I could call that is God consciousness, because it's a shared of consciousness, the sharing of knowledge, it's a sharing of consciousness. So it's God consciousness. Now, every culture, when we have a devil, we find that that devil lives deep in a cage. The devil lives deep, hidden from the light, hidden from the cosmic microwave background radiation, because he has to be out of contact with God. Isn't that exciting? Because we are swimming in this, and as it touches us, we are sharing a cosmic unity with the entire freaking galaxy. Billions of, not just our galaxy, not just the Milky Way, but billions of other galaxies, and infinite to the power of infinity. And so we have this, and that's our shared consciousness, you know? So one of the nutrients is because if people, when they go down and live in deep in caves, and we have people that go down and do this, they're miners, you know, and they go down there, but they can't stay there. Miners who go down there and live, things happen to them emotionally and physically. They're deprived of nutrients, and they get sick. So we know we can't have a miner go down there and live. He has to come back to court. He has to come up here and get some of this nutrient before he can go back down there. So isn't that interesting?
Very, very, very interesting. And it's something I think that's, you know, palpable. I mean, when you're speaking about this, you know, it's resonating, I'm sure, with everybody. And, you know, thanks for, you know, sharing this light, because as you say, it's probably one of the highest forms of electron nutrient we can get.
Exactly. The Schurmann wave, just that, it's completely different. The Schurmann wave, which isn't light, it's an electrical frequency. But it's an electrical frequency that's caused by the fact that there is approximately somewhere between 7 and 10 times a second, lightning is striking the planet Earth. And as it strikes, it creates this oscillation. So and that becomes the Schurmann field, which is approximately 7.8. Goes up and down. And basically, so it could never get too high. I think it's been reported as high as 11. But most of the time, it's right around 7 and 8. And that is another field that we all have been born in, swim in, unless we go deep into the cave or into our concrete shielded building. And if that happens, we get shielded from the Schurmann wave, and people get a little sick. So we have to find ways to get these things to them. I've been putting the cosmic microwave radiation, frequencies into our machine for a long time. You'll see a button. That thing. And then I built the Schurmann wave generators. Inside our device, our Schurmann wave generator is an active system. It matches and harmonizes with the environment. When you play one of the videos, you get a replicated Schurmann wave, and it's not active. It's a passive signal. It's good, but the actual machine develops one that actually gets into feedback with the environment to give you the perfect Schurmann wave.
Well, I was telling everybody that last night, and I'm just copying one of the links here to put it on the group for everyone. But Desi sent me 2 beautiful Schurmann resonance electroceuticals. The one I've just posted, and I'll post the other one of the seashore. That's 5 hours long. So I went to sleep last night with that on, and I don't know, whatever, but I've had a fantastic day. It's been a completely different day, Desi. I've never had a day like this before. I'm telling you, I'm sharing it with you because I thought, let me do it. Let me see, go to sleep, see what happens. And then you sent me the fish one, and I've been playing that the whole day as well. Also, you know, while I'm playing it, don't think that I'm not on my my earthing mat, and don't think I haven't got the little pendant near me and stuff. I mean, I'm obviously doing that anyway, but it's just been a day that can't remember having a day like this. It's been phenomenal. So I'm going to put both of those on.
Well, that video, it's supposed to be 24 hours condensed into 5, and it goes through in a whole day, and it's meant to restore energy and give you a restoration and clean out, and then it's to bring you into contact with the earth. And in the there's one time where there's a thunder shower, there's heavy duty, and the tornado appears for a second.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there's a rainstorm, and so if you're playing it at night, trying to sleep, you know, that thunderstorm might wake you up.
I never heard a thing. I just slept. It was too beautiful, and you know,
taken from nature, and basically it's got a nice little frequency in there, and it really is it's what I play in the house during the day. I play one of our overnight ones at night for protection, but then I play that one during the day. The dogs love it. When we leave, that gives a nice vibration in the house that the dogs can really, you know, sit back and enjoy. And so that's a very nice frequency for your office or home.
Beautiful.
Now the one with the underwater, that is got the actual whale sounds and actual dolphin sounds that are in a very high spectrum rating. So you get the low and the high that you don't always get from normal recordings. So you get a whole swimming with the dolphins effect from the underwater one. And the underwater one is really a very interesting one too. And I love the underwater one when I take a nap in the afternoon. That really just within 20 minutes, my brain is really charged and taken off. So that's a very nice one.
Well, you know, that I think is what I've been feeling. I've been nourished on a level that, you know, don't have normal access to. So just really want to thank you.
There's nourishment. That's exactly right. There are needed frequencies inside there to help give you some of the frequencies maybe you're deficient in.
That's right. Or maybe I'm advancing too. Let's rather.
And if the blood flow is completely fixed and balanced, then you can actually have a gut feeling what you need, what kind of nutrition, minerals, fiber.
Cool.
Can you all see the Schurmann resonance picture?
I see it.
Yeah, so this is coming from an app, okay? And you see there that dip, that white dip. Ooh, sorry, that's what happens sometimes when you try and expand it too much. But that white dip, those are the things, Desi, like you said, you know, slightly they're going to affect your brain waves. They'll slightly affect your anxiety levels. And this is what this app, every single day there's a reading, and there's more to this reading. This is just a snapshot.
Exactly. No, exactly. That happens. All of a sudden there's a big storm someplace, a gigantic storm, and might be two or three places in the world, and it creates a spike. That happens.
It creates that spike there, yeah.
And there's no reason to shield it because it's just part of nature. Storms hit, you know. And that storm could be in China, and it's creating an electrical field that is oscillating, hitting you in Africa, hitting me in Budapest. And it might have some effect, but Jesus, that's nature. You know, that we don't need to shield. We need to have our brains and bodies able to process these things, you know.
And maybe that slight alteration in neurological brain heart space is actually positive. So, you know, don't fight it, rather rest or move into it.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Fantastic. Phenomenal.
That's not man-made. That's not a man-made thing. The thing that we need to fear is man-made.
Yeah. And Desi, we were also talking in earlier, and we were saying that every single lightning strike, every 7 to 10 times a second, the lightning strikes are striking the Earth and charging the Earth with electrons and charging the Schurmann resonance, right? Keeping it at the 7.8.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it seems like. Yeah. So there's a change of the electrons transmitting from the ionosphere down to the ground. The ground holds electrons and absorbs them, and then they build up in the skies and into the clouds. And the Earth is an electrical being, just like we are. And
it has a specific resonance, like the Schumann field.
Well, it's a flexible resonance. Yes,
but it has an earth power, a life force.
There's a life force to it. There's an electrical life force. There's a spiritual life force. There's all of these things that are fighting and all harmonizing to our body, and we need to harmonize with it. Okay. Anyone?
I'm sorry, I wasn't leaving you. You know, by the way, Daisy, we are live on Facebook. So I'm just managing a couple of things in one moment and one go here.
Any questions for me, though?
I just think this is the most fantastic topic, and more next week, more next Wednesday. We're going to be doing this on a weekly basis, and we should.
I want to get into the nutrition, and I welcome people to watch the nutritional videos that are in that playlist, and to give me some really good questions, because what I've done is I've rethought medicine, I've rethought nutrition, I've rethought medicine. And this is something that all of our users of machines need to really understand, that the person walking through the door probably does not know how to breathe, probably does not know how to drink, probably does not know how to live, does not know how to eat, does not know how to exercise, does not know how to socialize. And there's some simple little tips that we can help them that will improve their health. And oftentimes, that one little nutrient, and boom, the whole thing takes off. The whole thing takes off. I'll tell one story before I leave. The parents brought me in a little boy. Now, the boy at the time is coming into me, and he's 18 years old. And since he was 6 years old, he had an accident. He was in the backyard playing with a rope. He had seen the cowboys hang people and westerns, and he made a noose and he put it around his neck, and he slipped off the tree, hung himself. His father rushed over, saved his life, got him to the hospital, and his neck was hurt. And from that time on till the day he met me, the child was retarded. The child was emotionally stinted and couldn't really do things. And when the boy came to me, it was calling Bob, and he came to me and hello there, doctor, how are you? I have a problem. And this was how he talked. He had no real emotion. He was unable to really learn. He was learning, they classified him as retarded. Every now and then, he would go into an episode. The episode that he would do is he would go into the bathroom, rip off one little piece of toilet paper, come into the bedroom and throw it away. Go back to the bathroom, one piece of toilet paper, go into the bedroom, throw it away. He would repeat this, and if the toilet paper ran out, he would look for more. If he couldn't find it, he would pretend. And he would do this for hours. While he did this, what we call ritual behavior, he would sweat profusely, have an extremely chemical odor coming off of him.
Wow.
The doctors had him on medicines, of course. He came to me. His mother brought him. I analyzed him on the machine. Number one thing comes up is glutamic acid. Now, glutamic acid is a supplier to the brain of energy. It's a secondary supplier because we should be getting our brain energy from our glucose. Anyway, he came up on the machine. We gave him 100 milligrams of glutamic acid, and instantly, within the next 24 hours, the boy came out of his shell, started talking normally, became a normal person, and said that all of those years he was in a fog, and now he could learn, etc. And he instantly was cured.
Wow.
He actually got a job in the next couple of months, working in a toilet paper company. No, that's just a joke. He actually got a job working in an electronics company, and it was amazing. And there was just one nutrient, that glutamic acid would cross the blood-brain barrier, and something happened to his neck, and the blood-brain barrier started to slow down the transfer of blood, glucose, to his brain. And the glutamic acid picked up the slack, and gradually, within the course of a year, his blood-brain cured, and he was completely normal. But on that day, it changed because of just one little nutrient. Now, his mother came to see me a couple of days later, and she had always worn gloves before. She took off her gloves, and I saw the most horrendous case of psoriasis I ever saw in my life. Her hands looked like raw hamburger. The psoriasis was so bad, skin coming off with blood. I said, oh my God. I put her on the machine. Number one thing comes up. High explosives. Chemicals that make high explosives. And her face went white and her jaw dropped. And she was living in America, but she had lived in England. And she said during World War II, she worked in a high explosive factory. And she handled high explosives every day with her hands. So I started treating her with homeopathy. I started trying to detoxify her of these chemicals, these high explosive chemicals. We started working with her. And literally, 2 days later, she called me back and she said, my hands are still this way. They still have psoriasis. What's the matter? And I said, excuse me, your son's instantaneous cure is rare. It took you 20 years to get sick from these chemicals. Can you be a little more patient with me?
Wow.
In 3 months, the psoriasis was completely gone. We detoxified the chemicals. I used poultice. I used bentonite clay and activated charcoal to suck the toxins out of. And we made a poultice to put in her gloves, and it sucked out the toxins. And we did a whole bunch of things, and we homeopathically treated her, and her psoriasis went away. So it's amazing, but we have to be able to look at nutrients with a much better way. And I've made these incredible videos for you. I hope they're addictive.
Thank you, Desi, and thank you for sharing. I've got one right now at the moment. She has got psoriasis over from her head to her toes, and I plugged her in and found benzene chemicals. So we're busy. Exactly, I gave her the zeolite and the device. I gave her some extra oxygen to help the detox, and we're busy making great headway. And tomorrow night, Desi, every Thursday, I have live case studies. So the practitioners come in and myself, and we share a case study. So tomorrow I'll be sharing on this lady. She's going to be
we'll publish them. If you write up your case studies, write them up and we'll publish them in a journal.
Yeah, we are keeping them all. We have phenomenal results, and so we actually doing that.
Yeah, put them in a form, and we'll publish them in the journal.
Good, thank you. Did you hear that? All the practitioners and people out there. So tomorrow, I've actually got a slide on this. I'm going to put it up now. It's called Jane Live, and oh, sorry. This is where it's complimentary, so anybody can come in And doctors, pharmacists, physios, health practitioners, we all share on toxicity, nourishment, but mainly our, we've got big ones. We've got lymphomas, we've got epilepsy. Tomorrow I'll talk a lot about, in the beginning, the toxins and how they damage the brain first, but then we lead into case study by case study. So everyone is invited to come and join in, and we can collect everything.
If you organize your work with before and after, and give us all the points, put them together as case studies, and I'll collate them and publish them.
Thanks.
Okay, I got to run.
Thank you, Daisy. See you next week, same time.
Okay, bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Eureka, you going as well? Okay, all right. So let's get back to this. That was, as usual, every time we had a presentation last year, which was on a Saturday, it was phenomenal. Each one got better and better. And you know what? Here we are again, all refreshed, and Daisy's belted it out, top level. You're not going to find this this is real knowledge. You're not going to find this in too many other places. And this is the IMUNE University. As I said earlier, you can, and I urge you, whether you have a device or not, it's irrelevant. Come and join this diploma course. It's food for the brain, it's food for the thoughts, it's food for the emotions, the spirit, and you can really take yourself on a journey to another level. And so you can actually register on the 365healthybychoice.com website. You just go to courses, and there's a feast of courses available. I urge you to come in tomorrow on a Thursday. It's really unbelievable. One of the days, actually, people were in tears and stuff with the sharing. So it's really heartfelt and very much based on compassion, and also quick results, because we want that. We want to show a result quickly. And then just a last course this weekend. For people running businesses and small and medium-sized businesses, we've got a practical business management course where we're going to be looking at cash flow and profitability. And there's some pre-course work, which you're going to need to get your expenses ready for us. And then we have a nice software program. And we're also encouraging practitioners to come in and join and be part of 365. And I'm linked to IMUNE and Desi. And really grow what we're doing, because this is leading edge. This is really way ahead of the curve. So you know what? It's just an absolute pleasure, honor, and everything to be part of this, and to have all of you come in and be part of everything with us. And please invite people, and let's get this growing. And you know what? We're also only as good as you, and vice versa. So, I think it'll just great teamwork. And if it's anything like last year, it's just going to be amazing. So I hope you took lots of notes. Keep your notes. You're going to link them to your course. The link to the earthing mats doesn't work. All right, let me just go there. I will go straight to the. You got to go to the shop, and then you've got to go to quantum radiation, and then I will go to I'm just going to call it in, okay? And then I'm going to give you the direct link to go straight there. Now, these mats come in small, medium, and large, all right? Let me come back to you. Oh, sorry, let me just get there. All right, that's the earthing mat, the large size earthing mat. And then the actual pendant, so that's going to be on a course, the radiation. Let me just get the pendant. There we go. I'm just getting the link for you. I've really, it's 1,000 Rand, which if you divide by 15, you'll get dollars. All right, there's the one for the pendant. It says pendant as well. Okay, yes, it should work. All right, everything. And we've got some users in our group as well, which is fantastic. And I would love also to hear your feedback. So as Daisy said, we were on a roll now. Everything is about nutrition. It's about receiving nutrition on huge levels. And I'm so pleased that we took this to the very highest level right now, this evening. And, you know, that's what happens when all our great minds get together and we work with the universe. And, you know, this cosmic microwave radiation and the God consciousness. I mean, it's just beautiful. So any other questions? On the website, you will also see the IMUNE course. And I think I'm going to just go and grab that for you and load that on for you too. And the people who are watching on Facebook, it's 365healthybychoice.com. So let's just get the, here it is here, right? This is a diploma course and you go at your own pace and it's online. And there's some true and false questions and there's also an exam for each one. So I'm trying to do this underneath the Facebook people. There. All right, this is the course, the IMUNE course. So just take your courses and grab all of these links, and then after this, you can have a look at your heart's content. Now, who of you are not part of the WhatsApp or the Telegram group? Can you just write onto this? I'll tell you what I'll do. How am I going to get the Telegram group link? Well, I'm going to give you the WhatsApp link. I think that's the first thing to do. All right, because then also we can stay in contact well. And here we go. Let me get this link. Let me just see how this works again. I haven't done this for a while. Oh, there. Nope. I'm just trying. Oh, a group info. No. Sorry, I really haven't done this part for a while. I'm trying to find the WhatsApp group link. There, got it. Got it? I've got it. Okay, so this is the WhatsApp group link. Now, those of you want to keep close contact with you, I've posted the WhatsApp link there. You can read in the link. All you do is copy it, click on it, and you will automatically join the WhatsApp group. All right, and this is where we share a lot. If Daisy gives me things to post, or Rita, we put it on there. If I post things, we put it on there. This group is for 365 and IMUNE. And so you're invited to join that as well, because I see lots of new faces today. So anything else? Pencil off in your diary a Wednesday. If you can't make it, I do download the recording. And especially right now, we've got a live Facebook, so it can go out straight away as well. You can go and find it on Facebook too. As soon as I finish, it'll be there. So there's no shortage of information. So Vanessa's saying she sat in online meetings most of today and this week with the earthing mat. That's fantastic, Vanessa. And, you know, let's hear. I get used to it. So for me, I'm used to my mat. I'm used to the pendant. but I wasn't used to the Schurmann resonance electroceutical. So we're constantly upgrading and we're constantly getting to a higher level and feeding ourselves nutrients on higher and higher levels. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy again all the links Desi gave me yesterday and today, and these beautiful Schurmann resonance links onto the WhatsApp group. Okay. And then I know that some of you are also on the Telegram group. I freed up some space yesterday, so everyone gets the same. Okay. All the best. Lots of nourishment for the next week for all of you. And as Daisy said, please watch what she's given you. This is free tuition, so really go for it. And then come back with your questions. That's what she loves. She loves the questions. Okay, and me too. All right, everyone. See you tomorrow on the Jane Live. And pleasure. And then those of you who are thinking and want to do that a practical business management, it's well worth it, because you get your business and all your ducks in a row straight away. You look and see your profit, you watch your cash flow. And we've got beautiful software to do that as well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I hope you guys are all feeling well. Well. More than well. Infinity wellness. All right, so let's go and maximize our health and have a great week. Anything, inbox me, put it on the group. If you've got a lovely course that you know that's coming up or whatever, send it to me first, please, because the last thing I want is to undermine anything that Desi and myself are doing, downgrade what we're doing, lower the vibration of what we're doing. But also I want to keep an eye on who and what we're posting in there, so that the people stay ahead of the curve and in the right stream of alignment. And that's really what we want to happen. So thank you. Thank you. Ciao.